President Bola Tinubu meets with labor leaders over planned National Day of Protest.
We came for consultation with the president and we have finished. So we have to go back to our meeting.
Senate approves 2026 MTEF applauds the economic and fiscal estimates.
CBN revokes licenses of 2 commercial banks over multiple regulatory violations.
On Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall discuss security master plan for tertiary institutions.
Claire, what happened to your voice? Are you under the weather or what?
Well, I'll tell you once we get into the program.
All right. Okay. After the home, most parents see the school as the safest place for their children, a space where dreams are nurtured and futures are built.
Absolutely. But sadly, that sense of safety
Campus.
And students say they describe as a campus that has become unsafe for learning.
Really unfortunate. We have seen this before. In 2017, twin bomb blast rocked the University of Maiduguri, killing at least 5 people and shattering the illusion that universities are off limit to attacks.
Sadly. Now, concerned by this trend, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, has announced plans to develop a comprehensive security master plan for tertiary institutions across the country.
Stakeholders say the goal is better treats.
Chukwudi Okolibwaja will be joining us for the newspaper review. Here is Dennis Adegunloye. Dennis, don't listen to my voice.
Good morning, Claire. Well, we can quite just about hear you clearly, so just keep it up and we'll get through the day. Good morning, Ademola, and good morning, Nigeria. Here is the morning news. President Bola Tinubu has met with the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress over its planned National Day of Protest. Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, Monday Okpebolo of Edo, and Nasir Idris of Kebbi led the Labour leaders into the presidential villa Tuesday night. The NLC plans a national demonstration this Wednesday over what it described as a democratic demand for the fundamental right to life and security. After the meeting, participants stated that consultations will continue on the matter.
Now you have a meeting of Labour and the Governors Forum. We'll go back to the drawing board and digest all that Mr. President said to us.
Consultation is going on. We were dialoguing. Like he said, at the end of the day, you know what you are supposed to know.
As both the executive and the legislature finalized plans for the presentation of the 2026 budget estimate to the National Assembly, the Senate has passed the 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, which indicates 54.46 trillion naira as proposed revenue and expenditure for the incoming year. The approval is as recommended by the Senate Committee on Finance, which describes the economic and fiscal estimates as realistic. The House of Representatives has expressed concern over continued uncertainty surrounding the delayed clearance of Nigerian Air Force C-130 aircraft and its crew in neighboring Burkina Faso, urging the federal government to leverage on ECOWAS and African Union frameworks to resolve the issue. The House also engaged the federal government's economic management team on the 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework submitted by President Bola Tinubu.
Defense, Nigerian Air Force, and national security to jointly interface with the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of External Affairs, and other relevant intelligence agencies to ensure prompt resolution of all issues related to the aircraft and its crew.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has revoked the operational licenses of ASO Savings and Loans PLC and Union Homes Savings and Loans PLC. A statement by the Acting Director, Corporate Communications of the bank, Hakama Sidi Ali, said the action taken under BOFIA 2020 and the revised guidelines for mortgage banks was due to multiple regulatory violations. These include failure to meet minimum capital requirements, insufficient assets to cover liabilities, poor capital adequacy, and non-compliance with regulatory directives. The Apex Bank says the move is part of efforts to strengthen the mortgage subsector and ensure financial system stability. The Nigeria Police Force has dismissed claims that it is restrained by a court order from enforcing the tinted glass permit policy, insisting that enforcement remains lawful and necessary for public safety. At the IRT office, the Force Public Relations Officer explained that at no point did any court stop the police from enforcing the policy. He said the court order being widely circulated was misinterpreted, noting that the injunction only directed parties to maintain the status quo, but ongoing enforcement, not suspension. The Nigerian Independence System Operator NISO says electricity generation on the national grid has dropped due to gas supply constraints arising from pipeline vandalism within the upstream gas supply network. A statement by NISO indicates that the incident affected gas availability to a number of generation facilities, with several gas-fired powered plants recording low output. NISO says it has activated contingency measures to maintain system stability and reliability, which include increased dispatch from available hydropower plants, continuous generation dispatch, voltage control interventions, and other necessary actions to balance electricity supply with system demand. That's the news for now. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Ademola and Claire after this break. Stay with us.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira will be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green, vibrant gardens, parks, and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. State category will have all states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House, Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
Give more strength to your hair with Mega Growth Leave-In Strengthener. It's infused with nourishing oils and conditioning proteins, so you can say goodbye to hair breakage. Wow! Mega Growth Leave-In Strengthener.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to...
The only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness. Eat healthy to live longer. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount.
Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja. The city is moving. New voices, heavy drip, all heart. From the streets to the stage, this is the next Afrobeat star.
Yo! What are we here for? Let's Afrobeat star! Let's get nasty!
And the talents from all over showed up to own the room. But they're not alone.
Spiritual. Gospel.
All chasing a slot to face the judges. Puffy T, SARS, Andre Vibes, P Pride. Catch next Afrobeat star on
this December, all eyes in Morocco. Africa assemble. All dreams are heading one way.
Planetary movement aligning.
All passion, all fire.
Because here, we play different.
Choose your side.
Show your colors.
Bring your flag.
And we welcome you to Morocco.
Get ready for the drama, the passion, the pride. From 21st December 2025 to 18th January 2026, history will be made again.
You guys ready?
Time to wake up.
Afro Sport, your freedom of sport.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. Up next is Newspaper Review. Well, our newspaper reviewer is here, Chukudi Okoli Ugbaja. Chooks, good morning.
I am here strongly coming to do the things we're supposed to do so that the viewer gets happier.
You see, Chooks, I have to excuse Claire now so that she can go and clear her voice. Claire.
Broadcasting must excuse her.
Yes,
please.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Go and clear your voice, please. Huh? Thank you for coming. We see your efforts.
Thank you so much for considering.
All right. So, Chooks, is you and me.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Thank you.
Let's go on. We have the leadership newspaper first. Let me go with the leadership newspaper. Bar Association kicks as police prepare to resume tinted glass permit enforcement. Details on page 16. U.S. expands travel restrictions, includes Nigeria. Details of that story can be found on page 22. Senate slashes oil benchmark to $60, backs 54.46 trillion 2026 spending plan. Then we have the major headlines there. Dangote seeks arrest. Trial of downstream authority CEO in petition of anti-graft commission. Independent Corrupt Practices Commission says petition will be duly investigated. Downstream authority CEO Ahmed keeps mum. So that details can be found on page 4. 15.2 million housing units structurally defective nationwide. Ministry reveals. Liquidation begins as Central Bank revokes ASO Savings Union Homes licenses. Tinubu Supreme Court Others mourn ex-Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Muhammad. Then we have 2026 World Cup. Nigeria awaits FIFA decision amid DR Congo eligibility probe. Then we have, from there we'll move on to Blueprint newspaper. The Blueprint newspaper, we have NBA to Tinubu, call IGP to order over tinted glass permit enforcement. That is details on page 6. Then ex-CGN Tanko Muhammad dies at 71. NJC Supreme Court Bala orders mourn. DRC Congo to see FIFA in eligibility rule. Then we have Dangote petitions ICPC over allegations against NMDPR boss Farouk. Senate reduces 54.4 trillion 2026 budget oil benchmark to $60 per barrel. Retains domestic foreign borrowings at 17.88 trillion. MPA records 1.085% export container growth in 12 months. Ship calls climb to 8.4%. Lekki Port cargo throughput at 46.8%. Then safety of aviation industry anchored on workers' welfare. Federal government details on page 18. Nigeria orders back Palestinians' right to self-determination. Details on page 6. Court restrained Ganduje from establishing independent Hisbah in Kano. Joint board wants end to illegal road block, non-state revenue collection. That is on page 6. And Business NG has NDIC begins liquidation of 2 banks. Then we have mixed reactions trail Nigeria's inflation drop as cost of living stays high. Then we have controversy erupt over police plan to resume tinted glass permit policy. CBN shut down ASO Savings Union Homes over regulatory breaches. Chooks, let me stop there. So let's just look at the papers.
The Nigerian Deposit Insurance Company, NDIC, is beginning the liquidation of 2 banks.
Yeah.
You didn't mention the banks, but that does not matter.
They did.
The import of it is what we're interested in. I wouldn't think at this stage we'll be talking about liquidating banks, because since we started from recapitalizing to 25 billion more than a decade ago, I thought all banks would have acquired sufficient financial muscle to do their business without making the depositor feel any iota, any atom of distress. So whatever it is, the good thing is that you don't lose your funds anymore when these things happen. So it is usually a preemptive action to safeguard people's funds. I think it's a step in the right direction.
It is, because they give them enough room
exactly
to recapitalize. So.
To recapitalize. What is important to me is that the customers' funds would not suffer any, shortfall. Yeah. It's a very good one. But first of all, Tanko Muhammad, one of the titans of the bench, former CGN, may his soul rest in perfect peace. One of the titans. We're not denigrating anybody in wig on the bench, but there are people in the judiciary who have stood apart, right from Showenimo's time, Justice Akpan.
Yeah,
so we have to up the game for ourselves as well. We should not be reading about lawyers and magistrates only. Dangote is taking it a bit further.
Yes.
He's asking, the other time I said, it's quite unlike Dangote to begin to say somebody's children is schooling. So I said, that's not Dangi Baba's style. But it does seem that he really feels pained in this matter. The NMDPRA boss is not saying anything yet.
He has not said. ICPC said they are investigating.
They are going to, the petition will be duly looked. He's written a petition finally.
Yeah,
that makes it serious. in those high business circles, Demola, you don't want to know what goes on because your poor prices.
Simple.
They can't even use that against the. Oh, let me stop there, so it doesn't seem as if we're praising the government. You need to do more government, but the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth.
You know.
Yeah.
So what we need is to increase the people's spending power, so that Demola can work in NTA. And at the end of the year, be able to buy 3 plots of land somewhere.
3 plots is too much.
Too many plots?
Yeah.
Well, I'm expressing optimism on your behalf.
No, I
Spiritual optimism.
I don't want.
I know I don't look like a pastor. I know that people like you don't think that I can make it to the pulpit.
I don't want to be. Just what is okay.
So it's spending power people are asking for. 70,000 minimum wage does not mean anything anymore. I'm going to join my friend Joey Jairo, you know, when the security reasons or not. No, they are saying follow the due process of law. So the question is this: is there any law on the ground that the police might impugn, violate, if they went ahead with doing what they say they want to do? Once we establish that, then the police you must tell them, dear, you know. But if there isn't, for crying out loud, the police will do what they have to do. Soldiers will tell you, we did what we had to do. That's it.
Wow.
We did what we had to do.
You do what you have to do.
Yeah, for sake of country.
Well, the Supreme Court orders more. Okay, we've talked about that. Then the World Cup. World Cup.
I thought we were.
It's like there is ray of hope. You know?
Which hope? You want to come in from the back door. You know Chukudi is not going to come and pretend on the air because this is national television. Stop asking me questions that will make me say things.
Evie, you look worried. What's going on?
My big cousin in the university might have to drop out of school. He can't afford his school fees.
Oh no, that's not fair. Wait!
What is it, Tomiwa?
I remember my dad talking about something called Nail Fund. He said it could help university students pay their school fees.
Nail Fund? What is that?
Hey, Captain Excellence! Do you also know about Nail Fund?
Absolutely, Tomiwa. Nail Fund is a federal government initiative that aims to provide financial assistance to students pursuing higher education. Nail Fund not only gives money for school fees, but even school allowances, called stipends. It's the government's way of keeping their promise that no child will be left behind.
Really? You mean this Tinubu government?
Yes, now. You see, Nail Fund is a government loan that helps you pay for school, and you only start paying it back later, little by little.
Ha! It's a loan. Doesn't that mean my big cousin will be swimming in debt?
Not exactly. First, this loan comes with no interest. You only start paying back when you get a job. Even then, it will be just a tiny bit at a time.
My dad says it's just like what they do in other countries like America.
Wow! This is a great idea.
See? With a Nail Fund, everyone can go to school even if you don't have money. Look at those smiles.
Wow, that's amazing. I am going to tell my big cousin right now.
Remember, Nail Fund is here to help every young Nigerian get the education they deserve. No child should be left behind.
The counsel of our fathers.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Are you ready?
Join us on Reshaping Democracy, a groundbreaking program on the network service of the NTA, where citizens get the chance to ask ministers, heads of ministerial departments, agencies, and other top government officials questions on their performance and delivery of mandates. With no sector of limits, conversations build around bridging communication gaps for feedback and effect as our guests engage with the people they serve.
How does ND foster partnerships with organizations, government agencies, NGOs, among others?
As our leaders give account to citizens' inquiries on good governance, tune in to Reshaping Democracy, a creative concept coming up every Tuesday evening at 10:05 p.m.
This is Reshaping Democracy.
Africa, a land of passion, pride, and power. Across this vast continent, the game runs deep. In every back alley, beach, and pitch, 1 billion hearts beat to one rhythm, the Africa Cup of Nations. We remember the kings of Cairo, when Zambia shocked the world, when Nigeria soared, the dreamers of Yaoundé, when Senegal stood tall. Last time, the elephants rose. From the thunder of Casablanca to the lights of Marrakesh, the stage is set in Morocco. This is where the past meets the present, where new stories begin. 24 nations, 1 trophy, but no script.
Oh, what a strike!
The drums return. The ground shakes. The continent rises. This is AFCON 2025.
32 matches, every Super Eagles game, all live.
This is ours.
Afro Sport, your freedom of sport.
Well, thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. To begin our conversation this morning on security master plan for tertiary institutions, let's take this background report by Ibrahim Bello Gunda.
The plan to develop a comprehensive security master plan for tertiary institutions in Nigeria is born out of various security threats faced by tertiary institutions, including banditry, kidnapping and terrorism, among others. The security master plan aims to enhance threat prevention, detection, and response capabilities covering various aspects of campus security, including intelligence gathering and emergency response mechanisms. The shared responsibility of campus security among government, security agencies, tertiary institutions administrators, students, staff, and communities will encourage the sharing of expertise, experiences, and practical solutions to ensure robust, future-proof campus security. This master plan is expected to establish a security framework for all institutions to transcend institutional capacity for threat prevention, detection, mitigation, and response. It is also expected to promote intelligence-led security operations and proactive risk management, protect students, staff, facilities, infrastructure, and intellectual assets, and deepen collaboration between institutions, security agencies, and host communities. The master plan will also institutionalize emergency preparedness, crisis management, and business continuity protocols, and integrate modern physical and digital security technologies into campus operations. How apt is the Campus Security Master Plan initiative? How important is the preventive strategies rather than reactive approach to securing tertiary institutions? And what should stakeholders involved in campus security focus on the most? These questions will set tune for discussion on Good Morning Nigeria, as our guests are already seated for the conversation.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim, for that background report and for those questions, which I know I'm sure that some time ago. What do you think are the major, pressing security concerns facing tertiary institutions in this country?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, let me say that we have to offer thanks to God. At the University of Maiduguri, the miracle is that the university did not suffer as much security threat as would have been expected, given that Maiduguri is the epicenter of the Boko Haram insurgency. And that is thanks to the diligent effort by our security agencies to safeguard the university and Maiduguri itself. Springing up of all kinds of so-called security agencies that were there to provide essentially only guard duty, guarding installations and so on and so forth, but neglecting the wider aspect of security on the campus. And incidentally, from that time, we saw the upsurge of the problem of cultism, and other issues that wrecked the universities, and even religious extremism that wrecked the campuses. And the universities were helpless to confront it because their own internal system of security management, was disrupted. This has spread across the country, all the campuses in the country. And incidentally, we have also seen during this period the upsurge of...
Thank you very much. I think I'm in a very good position to discuss this aspect. I taught in ABU, Zaria, for 40 years. And in those 40 years, 37 years, I spent it inside the campus. And ABU is the biggest campus in the country. And apart from that also, I basically visited and slept in most of the campuses in Nigeria.
Okay.
So now, when you look at the campus, one, people have to understand it within the context of what is a campus, because it's a unique atmosphere. One, in the campus, we produce people who are not students, who are not lecturers or teachers, but they also stay in the campus because they have their small kiosks, they have places where they sell food and all this kind of thing. And also, you have a situation where also you have people who are also workers in the university, who are even security agencies. Okay. In most campuses, you have DSS who live inside the campus. You have also police. And to some extent, sometimes you have even the military who are living around those kind of areas. So campus is such a unique place that you need a comprehensive and integrated, actionable program so that they can be able to make their environment secure. So so the idea of the master plan is that now we must have a master design of what is happening concerning security in our campuses. Okay. Now, and also, mark you, there is also a statement from the president of the country, of which he declared state of emergency in terms of security.
National security.
National security. Now, I think it is on that platform, the TED Fund come up with the idea that you see investments. And sometimes in these campuses, you make this investment, but you can't use it because of insecurity. Now, when you look at the case of, for example, University, Dusama, the main campus, which billions were spent, cannot be utilized up to today. So they were still in the temporary sites, and the student number is growing. And Mike, you know, there is still the TED fund, so it's needful to see what plans can they do in line with the federal government position on this. And I think they find themselves in a very strategic position. Number one, the executive secretary of the TED Fund was a federal permanent secretary, and now as an executive secretary. So we have a holistic understanding of the Nigerian strategic structure bureaucratically. And the chairman of the board of trustees, Aminu Masari, Right Honorable Aminu Masari, was also a governor in Katsina State where there was this activity. And he was also number 4 in the country. He was Speaker House of Representatives. And I know through our security initiative, I worked closely with him when he was the governor of Katsina. We almost stamped out the banditry in Katsina during that our activity. So basically, I think, and they make an approach, we discuss it and say, look, there is need to have a master plan
for tertiary
institution. Because as it is now, we campuses, we don't even communicate with each other. Like somebody in the University of Abuja does not know what is happening in the University of Nsukka. But we have to see, when we are talking of, look, the first starting point, let's talk to the chief executives. So they invited the chief executives of all the universities in Nigeria, and then the head of the Institute of Polytechnics and Colleges of Education. But then who are those under those kind of people? Then we say, okay, get the deans of students, get the chief security officer, and let's brainstorm, and let's know even what is. Because even in the security master plan you are thinking, every area has its own peculiarities. Like you don't concentrate much on banditry when you go to maybe University of Lagos, or you go to maybe University of Ile-Ife. Maybe probably the discussion there would be within the OPC issue, the cultism and all this kind.
As our recent experience.
That's why the Safe School initiative.
I think, for me, I think we've had the Safe School initiative. It appeared to be working, which was set up after the Chibok girls kidnapped in 2014. And in 2015, the Safe School initiative gathered steam. And then there were the mass kidnap in Katsina. But when everything seemed to cool down, we seem to think everything is normal. Now, there were kidnaps in Niger, in Kebbi, and now suddenly it has jolted us to action. But I think getting the master plan, for me, is good. But I just want to think that we have a national framework, which is the National Security Strategy Document 2019, which outlines the way security is conducted for the different sectors. But that document, compiled by the Office of National Security, I don't know if they have a fresh one, but I know there is one in 2019. And now, it did not quite emphasize what I think needs to be addressed, and that is the issue of local government, of our communities. Because you can have the best security within the university itself, but the university exists in an environment. And if you do not, any plan that does not carry the local government, the National Counterterrorism Center, they have a plan, I think 20 25 to 2030. We've got to look at those plans because so that we operate within them. So those who are tasked with this, designing this master plan, must look at these 3 documents that I have mentioned. Because even recently, I think the House of Representatives, I think they had a special session in dealing with the issue of security, and they recognize the issue of the local government, the role of the traditional rulers. It is the integration of this that will create a safe. So I think there should be investment. I think in technology, so that access control to the universities are has. That is why the University of Maiduguri and other, but you can't say that for those in the rural areas. So the point, in summary, what I want to say, we must have an integration. We must encourage, first of all, engagement with the local government chairman, engagement with the emirs, with the obis, with the obas, engagement, give voice to critical stakeholders in our communities. Because we will not talk about tertiary institutions, because what is happening is happening in primary school and in secondary school. So we must have an integrated whole.
An integrated form.
The political ward level and the institutions. What is the level of ownership have we been given the local government authority, which is the local government, the host local government of those institutions? How are they interacting? How are they interacting with relevant stakeholders in terms of security management in the country? The police, the civil defense, the immigration, the custom, the military, the DSS, and the rest of them. And yes, of course, among the students, there are students from police institutions, there are students from DSS institutions who might go back to those institutions in order to acquire additional certificates. How is the government interacting with them? What effort have they been making and what inputs? And for how long do we have to have this document, like the AIG mentioned, 2015, 2000 and that, 20, this and that?
Several documents.
Yes. So those documents, how have we been allowing for sub-school initiative? And the document mentioned stationed at the Office of the National Security Advisor. I'm very sure and optimistic that during the course of exchange of activities, probably the third point, the other institutions like probably the police and civil defense might have had interactions based on happenings, the Yahoo activity, the Boko Haram, both ideologically religious and the criminal perspective. Because the crime within our institutions are divided and they are subdivided. Whatever we have in any of our communities, we allowed to random sample those documents and scrutinize them so that we know who do we have and how do we move about and then building on. I'm very optimistic that many of those international criminal societies, ISO, Boko Haram, Yahoo, and the rest of them, they can easily come into our institutions and conduct recruitment and also institutionalize a system that will be very fragile. And the institutions of the government may not understand that is happening. Probably until after 30 years, when the student will graduate, he has already been recruited, he has already been trained, his capacity has been built up, he has established network with all the criminal networks and so on and so forth. So he will be re-engaging others, also incorporating them among his family members, and those his family members will also be extending.
Yes, when you are doing master plan, I mean, you need the literature review. You want to know what and what happened, like what DIG said and what to some extent. But the key element, we have to see what is actually happening. Let me give you one example. A lady came to my house in Katsina, in the village. I live in the village. So that's why when I told you of campus, we as academics, we are not just looking at the campus, those who live within the confine of the campus perimeter fence. No, we are also looking at our students who are renting rooms outside the campus, because it's part of our constituency. And we should be interested of who are even the landlords of those houses, because maybe the landlord himself in that place. So they were staying in the same house with that lady student. She also have a baby of 5 years old. So when the bandit entered the place, the kids of that lecturer told the father, please hide in the room, we'll be outside to see, because maybe they are looking for you. So he hid inside. Then while he was in the hide, he had the bandit who had taken the whole kids to the bush. So he decided to come out. And as he came out, they put 5 bullets.
They shot him?
Yes, dead. And then they took those kids. And they took that lady with her baby. They started beating the father, and blood was gushing. So they brought her, that was when she came to me. They brought her back into the town, and they killed the father. Oh. So now this is what is happening in our campuses. So when we start these things, our own preoccupation is not just theoretical thing, Nigeria, this attitude, you write this, right, and you end up just doing things, and probably people have endless meetings with allowances and all this something, and not addressing the problem.
Okay.
So now when, like in the case of that lady, she came back, the father died, and for even last month, she saw me because she is about to complete. But there are many of them, even ABU students were taken. So, but the issue, part of the master plan, is not only looking at this to the clinic of the VVF, because they have been torn off.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me quickly get to Professor Garba Ibrahim. And I'd like to ask, to what extent can CCTV on tertiary institutions, on campuses, help in all of this? And what is the capacity of universities to be able to do this? Of course, you are bearing in mind the cost of installation, you are bearing power in mind, to get them functioning as it should be.
Well, thank you. I think that that touches on the wider application of technology in the security of the campuses. You see, in a properly functioning university security unit, you have 3 sections. You have the investigation section, which has the duty room, which handles interactions between students and other members of the community and the staff and so on and so forth, and they are directly linked with the police. And you also have the section of guard duty, which is where you have all these uniform personnel sitting at gates and other transformers, installations, classrooms, and so on and so forth, and providing general crowd control during functions. And you also have surveillance. That surveillance unit is the one that is sort of covert, and you have, and they are directly also linked with the police and with the DSS. In the last year or so, the chief security officer of our own university was telling us that the majority of the thieves that they caught on the campus were people who were working for these private security organizations that are now the contractors of security on the campus. And the role of DSS and police is also being drawn into the shadows now because of all this desire to reduce cost and do all sorts of things. Now, when it comes to the issue of CCTV on the campus, yes, CCTV is working. It is providing some measure of security, but you will find that it is, the application is limited because the personnel issue, of the campuses. I am also mindful of the very important point made by Gesso that the it is not only those who are living on the campus, that are the concern of the university, because increasingly a larger percentage of students are living off campus. At the very least, you would have about 50% of the students of residential university living off campus. And there are many private universities now that are not even residential at all. So the students are all living off campus. And universities have to be concerned about the security of these students.
Okay, Prof, you want to comment on that? Because I wanted to ask him about the risk assessments, that they have in the institutions, because
issue of outsourcing. I think, personally, I think it's very dangerous for university to outsource security to private security company. Because private security company, when they go to a place like a university, they are entering there as a business to make money. So which means the quality of service, yes, may be okay, but it will reach that it is the issue of profit. And I don't think it will be tactical.
Adults for criminals. All right, and this one is from Ambassador Caleb Gindiri in Plateau. He writes, Peace and Security Club should be established in tertiary institutions and Peace Club in secondary schools. Okay, thank you for keeping it short. This one reads, Good morning, Nigeria. I am Hafsat Usman Idris. I have listened to all what you say, and I appreciate all your suggestions. Thank you. And finally, from me, involving the host community and being proactive in campus security is the best approach to the issue of securing our tertiary institutions. That's from Ibrahim Biu in Borno State.
Okay, maybe you want to respond to some of this.
First of all, I want us to, what crimes or security issues are we dealing with when we are talking about campus security or threat to our institutions altogether? We are talking about terrorism.
Funding, because the universities are large.
No. When we are talking of funding, the master plan is being sponsored by TED Fund. A TED Fund has money. TED Fund can start with pilot in some universities. And then there's no need for us to come and sit down if we think funding is going to affect us. And then, but the issue that I want to talk about, and I'm very interested in, when I saw those children, those 100 that were freed, is it Papirian? It's a Mary Catholic school. And it's very depressing to see young children being kidnapped and all that. And this happened mostly in the rural area. So, and I think that in dealing with this subject matter, I talk about rejigging, supercharging the local government security architecture, which appears not working. Because the situation that we have, if we at the federal level, we're having the National Security Council, we have the Joint Intelligence Board, and at the state level, we have Security Committee. But at the local government level, they hardly take place. So there is a disconnect. But once, and I said ground up, everything the state, the federal government should use,
all right. Okay.
comes
thank you.
from ground up.
Okay, thank you, AIJ. From ground up, that is integrate the community into the security apparatus. Okay, we'll continue. We'll take a break now. So when we come back, there are still some messages that we got from our viewers, which we'll read out so that our guests can respond to them. Stay with us.
You have no better friend and partner than Nigeria. Let this unveiling today be a call to conscience. Let our practitioners hold the line of truth. To the media, please inform with integrity and with a deep sense of patriotism. To our public officers, communicate with transparency. To citizens, please let us speak with empathy. Let us come together to become the voice of responsibility, the voice of the world that heals division, that inspires hope and drives development.
This December, all eyes in Morocco. Africa assemble. All dreams are heading one.
To 18th January 2026, history will be made again.
You guys ready?
Time to wake up.
Afro Sports.
Oh no! The gutter! It's blocked and it's smelling!
Yes, the gutter is blocked because everybody's refuse comes here. You can see the gutter is blocked and mosquitoes are already breeding here.
Oh no! I didn't know it would cause all this trouble.
That's okay, Nkechi. Remember, disposing of trash properly is crucial to saving the planet.
I promise to always dispose of trash properly from now on, Captain Excellence.
One small action a day can make a big difference for life.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. And our discussion is still on Security Master Plan for Tertiary Institutions. And our guests are still seated in the studio to respond to some of the comments that we have received from our viewers. Let me read out some of them. This one is from Akeju Olagbaju. It says, first and foremost, we have Umbrella National Security Master Plan. And my take is that the implementation should be community-based to achieve the desired result. This is the missing link. All right. Now, this from Nandom Uyeb from Jos. It says, how do the surrounding communities' crime rates and geographical location affect campus security? One, what ongoing training is required for? Then how quickly must security personnel?
Based strategy. I was in Afghanistan, I was in Myanmar, I was in India, I was in Sri Lanka, where a community-driven approach, where I designed and facilitated the implementation of a course, and I have been advocating. And since when I came back in 2015, I have been writing submissions to different quarters of governments on what to do in order. We must enhance and improve a community-based course. So now, the university is supposed to have a master plan, a geographical master plan of all the, not only the immediate, the host community, but even within the territory of at least minimum of 40-kilometer radius. Profile the types of crime. It must identify who are the immediate responders. Okay. Somebody asks a question, when is it effective for a security agency to respond when there is an incident report? Yes, of course. We consider each risk as a security threat, activation of the local government security committee. As far as I'm concerned, 774 local governments that we have in Nigeria, they have active local government security committees. Okay. But the problem is participation. How many university chief security officers are attending the monthly local government review meeting? Most of the local government chairmen are not attending. They normally send the vice chairman who cannot make a decision. And then some of even the security representatives of the other security architecture that we have within the local government, within the host local government, they don't also attend. So we have to be very careful. The communication.
That some campuses should be, relocated, redesigned, rezoned or something. Can amendments be made based on security risk assessment?
Well, first of all, I don't think it is a matter of relocation. After all, if you are having security challenges, you should develop a mechanism to respond to it. It is not a matter of running away. Correct the impression. Actually, there was one bomb blast within the university. There was one scare, but it was not a bomb blast. The other time when we had security breach in the university was when Giwa Barracks was attacked, and the soldiers were responding. Some of their stray bullets naturally entered the campus because we are very near. But when we had that bomb blast and a professor, was and the university senate convened on an emergency meeting to consider the response and also of the state government. So there is actually a very tight communication there. And I think that is how universities should be able to respond to their own specific kind of challenges that they find wherever they may find themselves. I know that some of the universities, the location of the universities in the first place, were ill-advised. It was just politically motivated. Somebody there, then it should be able to respond to its own challenges. I don't think relocation is the answer. The answer is what Dr. Keso, has been saying. The university should develop a robust connection between it and its immediate executive council, students' union, newly elected, are made to undergo certain trainings, including conflict management and also security responses. And then, of course, the security drills that are organized by the University Security Office, for campus residents. I don't think it extends to those who are living outside the campus. But I also know that the security office of the university liaises very closely with the divisional police of divisions. And we do have, therefore, some measure of training that is, but mostly security consciousness. Because the important thing, as see, we can't take up consciousness, being conscious of what the challenge.
Notice boards are very, very important and useful in terms of creation of awareness in our institutions. So I advocate for all the chief security officers and the managers of the universities and tertiary institutions to take a very good advantage in terms of providing those maybe emergency numbers that can be reached to prompt both the security and the managers of the institutions. It is essential also to note, we have been discussing issue of funding. Yes, of course, everybody is talking about funding. There are a lot of untapped opportunities in Nigeria, which if the government is interested, can mobilize us in order to fast track and put through. Government can decide to put the router at the center wherever it falls. And then those are tools that are not really expensive, and we can easily take advantage of the solar system in managing it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Getsu. Let me quickly get to Dr. Bashir Kofi. How do we strike a balance, between security, given the situation we found ourselves in, and the open nature of university academic life?
Yes, it's very simple, because you look at what happened before. You see, so what, and sometimes, the insecurity, if I enter a class, I talk to them. You see, even if I'm lying, before you dismantle that lie, will take another 2 months for you from outside. So, but what it is here, in terms of the training of the students, you see, part of the master plan is what are the mechanisms you do in mobilizing them. If now, for example, you train students, you say, if you hear anybody that comes to kidnap your own colleagues, all of you should have catapult. From all angles you start, it will scare, because criminal doesn't want any attack. Yes, so they will say, look, if you enter a campus, it's a problem. And also the teachers, you just don't run away. Everybody can take a cover to see how does he bring disruption.
All right,
and we know what we said.
Dr. Kuzi, because of time, Tell us, when is this master plan coming to, implementation?
Yes, the most important now is the mobilization of the campuses. And we also, have to look at, when you talk of the security in campuses,